Hello, my bells. It's Darlene from Belvy Integrative Wellness, and I help emotionally exhausted nurses and healthcare professionals reset their joy so that they remain in the profession that they once loved. And today is Tuesday Tools. We are in week 3 of our workplace wellness series with a focus on psychological safety. And this week we have been discussing workplace incivility, which is another word for bad behavior. It is when you are in the workplace and your colleagues or any person that you're in contact with is putting you in a position where you're feeling very uncomfortable, where you're feeling stressed out, where you are feeling challenged, not in a good way, but that your character is being challenged, that you are being triggered, all the things that are just very, very, very uncomfortable. And so, workplace incivility is such an important topic because it is one of the huge factors of burnout that we see within the healthcare system. And the thing is that it can be one of the most invalidating stressors because of the fact that there oftentimes it can be so subtle. It can be in a gesture, nonverbal actions. Sometimes it can be blatant, but majority of the time it isn't. It can be very quiet where you walk away kind of second guessing, going, what was that about? And you question it because of the fact that deep inside you just feel very uncomfortable and it's something that is continuous. Oftentimes it's not dramatic. It's not dramatic enough to call out, but it's loud enough for it to stay with you, up to the point to where it stays with you when you leave the workplace and you bring it home, you bring it to your loved ones, you bring it to any place outside of the workplaces, which is a key factor of realizing that this is a problem. Now, for me to talk about workplace incivility, it's easy for me to be able to discuss this because I have experienced it myself. And if I were to ask anyone if you have experienced it, I'm sure that you have. Unfortunately, this is something that we do see within the healthcare industry. But one thing's for sure is that it does not mean that just because it happens, that it's something that is normal and that should be accepted. I can recall on numerous occasions of leaving the workplace and feeling completely depleted, not because of the workload that I had for that day, but because of the interactions that I had with people that made it very, very exhausting. It changed my character and personality, where I became a person who was not full of joy all the time. I was very irritated, defensive, ready to defend myself because of becoming acquainted, excuse me, with constant pushback, constant gossiping, all those awful things, and then just kind of like bringing it home and being so consumed with it that while I'm home, I'm concerned about showing up the next day and on the weekends, not really enjoying the weekend because I'm so concerned about, oh God, the weekend is going to go so quickly because I have to go to work on Monday. So that's when I realized that, you know what, this is not healthy. I haven't experienced a workplace to this degree before. And so, therefore, this is not something that is harmless. It will take a toll on you. And so, if any of what I'm saying to you resonates with you, and you find that you are being exposed to workplace incivility, I have some tools for you. I have 4 tools for you to be able to not necessarily confront. These tools that I'm providing is not about confrontation. It's really about clarity, about putting a name on what it is that you are feeling and to validate you. And so, tool number 1 is naming it, not normalizing it. And if you find that the way that people are interacting with you is completely bad behavior and making you feel uncomfortable, if it affected you negatively and it continues to affect you, there is nothing to debate about. That matters, period. And just because it's common, it doesn't mean that it is normal. So put a name to it and name it and say, yes, I have been in a situation where I have been faced with microaggression towards me, comments towards me, gossiping towards me, sabotage of an assignment, even if it's something that's minor, but that it's something that may have delayed your time spent in the workplace. Tool number two is separating the impact of the incident from the intent, meaning that once something affects you, there's an interaction and it is a poor interaction, and you feel in your gut that, you know what, that was microaggression towards me. That's another period, another hard line. You do not have to rationalize it and say, well, maybe they didn't mean it, or maybe no, it really happened and your feelings are valid. You don't necessarily have to have the proof, because your experience is enough to be able to draw the line to say, yes, I am experiencing workplace incivility. Tool number three is we always, every Tuesday, I think that one of our tools is always the pause, right? Pause on purpose. Because if you are in a situation where you are not being treated properly, you're not weak for not reacting. It is very important to pause, because pausing is what is going to allow us to respond if we choose to respond. Because again, not every moment requires a response or a reaction. And if we do decide to say something, we want to be able to say it from a place where we are emotionally regulated, that we are professional, and we are able to get our point across so that it lands and it is received properly. Tool number four is closing the loop. How many times, I know that I could say this for myself, have you been in a situation where you've walked away from it and you replay it in your mind over and over and over again, thinking of what was said, what you did say, what you didn't say, what you wish you had said, what you could have said, all those things. And that's called ruminating. And when you're ruminating and you're just constantly in this loop of replaying everything, it interrupts your clarity. You are not able to really think clearly because your mind is so foggy with this movie scene that has gone on your head. And not that what has occurred hasn't occurred, it has occurred and it is true what has happened to you. But you have to be able to put a stop to it, because you need to be able to process things and make decisions from a place of a clear mind, so that you can pivot if you do decide to pivot, and that you can scale the issue up to management and to leadership, and to make sure that you're able to address the situation in a professional manner, and to see if you can have changes made within the workplace when you are facing workplace incivility. So today is Tuesday Tools. I hope that these tools will help you continue to follow us for the remainder of the week as we continue to address workplace incivility and what it looks like, what it feels like, and how we are able to show up properly in the workplace, so that not only are we well, but when we are well, we can take care of our patients so that they have the most optimal outcomes. So enjoy your Tuesday. I'll talk to you soon.